Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Daniel Winston Mandela Tulung and this is
My name is Rindra Adriansyah.
and today we're going to present our final project for scalable architectures. So here we try to recreate Spotify, which is a fully functional music streaming platform built with microservices architecture, just like Spotify. So unlike a typical prototype project, our application actually does handle real MP3 file uploads and playback, and it actually stores audio data that you can stream through a modern web interface. We have three main services, the first one being a user service that handles user authentication. And we also have number two, catalog service that stores music metadata and actual real MP3 files. And we also have the playback service, which allows us to play, pause, and stop music, basically. Our key features include that there are real audio file support, modern React front end, full video, full audio player, search and filter, and microservice architecture, Docker deployment, as well as Redis caching for performance optimization.
Okay, next up we have our architecture overview. So here in our front end, we host it locally in 3000, and then there user can upload songs and stream music. And then after that, if a user chooses to upload songs, it will be connected to the backend services, which is the catalog service, and it will connect to the catalog DB. After that, if a user tries to stream a music, it will connect to the playback service, and then it will connect to the playback DB. And then when the user tries to log in, it will connect to the user services, which is going to be connected to user DB. And then next we have our Redis cache, which is used by services so that they can fetch database or like data quickly. And then here we have our project structure tree, and inside we have our Docker compose.yml, we have our testing song toolty.cover, and then next we have the folder of our app, and inside it we have the services for each of our services has a folder inside it containing models, routes, auths, and Docker file. And then here we have the front end part, and we also have shared and events folder, which is used by the services to connect between each other. Next, we have our technology stack. We have the backend using Python, Fast API, and UVcorn, as per what Pak Guntur mentioned. And then for database, we use PostgreSQL, which is a document-based. For caching, we use Redis. For authentication, we use JWT with Python Jose cryptography. For file handling, we use Python multipart and SQL Alchemy. And for deployment, we use Docker and Docker Compose.
Yep. And here in our README, we also included a little quick start tutorial if you guys want to start or try our application. First, you would have to git clone it, and then you can follow these simple steps below. We're not going to talk about this too much right now because we're actually going to show you guys starting from scratch in a bit. But here we also discuss some real audio file implementation, considering how we implemented actual MP3 files. We'll discuss this later on as well in our challenges and solutions. And here we have our API endpoints again, just to emphasize again as to what Rindra mentioned. We have three services, the user service, catalog, and playback, and they're all hosted locally through Docker and our 8001 port, 8002, and 8003 port. In regards to database schemas, we have schemas for all the types of services that we have. Here, I'll just try to delve into the user service database, which is quite simple. There's just ID, email, password hash, and the timestamp as to when the user was created. And in terms of our front end features, this isn't too relevant to our actual scalable course, considering the things that are taught in class are more back end. But going through them, we vibe coded a modern UI UX based on Spotify, an audio player that has full playback control. You can play, pause, and stop. A seek bar volume control. You can also upload files, just drag and drop files into our app right away. And you can also do search and browse that allows you to find songs. We also deployed our services through Docker using our docker-compose.yml, which we'll talk about later on as well. So before delving into the challenges, let's actually try to run our application. So first, again, once you git clone our application through our repo, you would have to go into this directory first, and then you would have to set up your Docker. Now, while we're setting up Docker, let me actually open a new PowerShell so that I can go into the directory where the front end lies, because we want to show you guys that as well. All right. So here we're going to install first, and while that is working its magic, I'm going to check whether Docker is already running. All right, seems like it's running, and because of that, we'll do docker compose up dash dash build to basically run our Docker containers. while we wait for that, let me check whether this is doing all right.
You can just close this and make a new one.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
Okay,
start a new one.
so here we'll go into our front end. Yeah. Oh,
You need to do Scalable first.
yeah, yeah. Hold on. So do that, and then into our streaming app, and into the front end, and then since we've already installed, we'll just npm start. So let's check whether, okay, Docker is already running. You can also check it through here. All our services and their databases are running. Right now, we've already included 2 songs that we've uploaded previously. If you press play, it actually plays. Hello, world. Hello. And you can also upload your own songs through just adding songs here. So, for example, I want to add the song called, let's see, let's just do this one. It fills in the song title right away, but you would still have to insert your artist, album, and in terms of genre, you can also choose based on our preset, duration, release year. And if you want to play it, if you upload it, it goes to your library right away and you can play it. You can start, you can stop, you can also adjust the volume here. See, since the volume is 0, it's actually at 0. And then if I turn it up, it's actually all the way up. Our search bar also works. Say, for example, we want to search for Rick Ross. Rick Ross actually shows up. If we want to search for Kendrick Lamar, that shows up as well. If we want to search for the song title N95, that works as well. And you can just click it right away. Hello world, all the boys and girls. So that's all that I want to discuss for the front end part. Now Rindra's going to talk a little bit more towards the back end part. Yep.
This is to just show that it is all connected. And which one is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Here, I'm just going to show that the services are all running again, but by using crawl. Okay, here, user service is running. Then the catalog service is running, and our playback is running. And here we can check the list songs, the list of songs. Oh wait, there. It is connected to the what do you call it? Front end. And then next, if we can try adding a new song through the crawl.
CLS.
Yeah.
Wait, that song has actually already been uploaded. We should change the name. This one. So just change the name to something else so that we can show that. Yeah.
It's actually working.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, yeah, it's there. It says connected, and then here we can actually see if we reload it. Yeah, it's called TFTH, and it will play the same song as N95 because it's the same file. Hello, everything is working. And then next, I will show you guys that our user test, our what do you call it? User registration is working just fine. Wait, yeah. Here, say I wanna add an account. Yeah, it's called this. Yeah, it will give me a token, and it will show me that when it was created. And then next, when I try to log in using that same email and the same password, it will give me my authentication info. Yes, it will give me my access token. And then next, when I try to authenticate it, it will actually show the same thing as if I'm logging in using my password. If only it's correct. It's correct. Never mind, it's not correct. There, it will show you that it's the same account and it's all connected. Next, I guess we're gonna talk about challenges.
Yep. So here we're going to talk about the challenges that we documented. There were a lot of times where we felt stuck and didn't know what to do. But there were a lot, and here are just some of those that we documented. So challenge number 1 is database initialization. When we try to ensure that we could actually upload or have data in our databases, other services failed. Why? they failed to start because the database tables didn't actually exist. This was a very silly little mistakes, but we basically didn't add tables into our schemas or services yet. What we did is that we added automatic table creation, and that allowed us to basically add data and add songs into our database.
Next, we have our challenge number 2, which is the connection between front end and back end. At the start, when Daniel was creating the front end, we had troubles because we can input the songs and do stuff in the back end. But then when we tried to do it in front end, it didn't work. And then Daniel decided to add course add middleware, and it basically connected the front end and back end, and everything is working just fine, as you guys can see earlier.
Yep. Challenge number 3 is file upload versus JSON API. Basically, at the start, this upload music page was just uploading song title, artist, and album without the MP3 file. What we wanted to do was go the final stretch and actually be able to upload MP3 files. But a problem we realized is that the front end was just sending JSON, no support for MP3 files. So what we did was update catalog API using form data as well as blob that will be discussed furthermore in challenge number 4 here.
It is connected to challenge number 4, which is audio streaming, because at the time I didn't add the database to receive or to be able to receive audio files. And at the time, we only figured that the only way to connect audio songs was to use third-party services. But then we discovered Blob, which is a binary large object something. But basically, it allows the database to receive the audio file. So the audio file is converted into something that can be read and it can be uploaded, can be fetched, everything.
Yep, and that allowed us to basically play MP3 files as we have shown you guys. Testing the application, we've already just done this as shown. Let's talk about production readiness, the things that we've already implemented. A bunch of stuff, most importantly and most relevant, scalability, ensuring that all the independent services were deployed. Future enhancements include all of these. And in terms of development experience, we learned a lot. We learned that in theory, when we are designing microservices, it might be very simple, but once you actually implement it, it's quite complex. But it was a lot of fun as well, being able to actually do all of this. There's also other things that we learned which aren't too relevant to the Scalable course, but yeah. And in terms of challenges from Rindra?
I guess from the backend perspective, it was mostly just the user, no, not just the services and the database, because there was time when it would, occur a race condition where the services would start before the database initialization, and we had to figure out a way so that we can stop the race condition.
Yeah. But basically, all in all, that's our final project. I hope that was enough, and we worked really hard for it. Thank you so much, Pak Guntur, for the guidance, for all the workshops and lectures that you've given. The project was an awesome opportunity for us to actually implement the things that we have learned, and it was really fun as well. From Rindra?
Yes, you just mentioned everything what I wanted to mention, so I guess that's all from me as well.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Good luck in your exams.